My uncle stole our wedding venue for his surprise vow renewal. I'm 29 female, and I got engaged to my now husband 2 years ago. We're not rich by any means, but we saved up for a really nice wedding. After visiting like 15 venues, we finally found the one. This gorgeous rustic barn venue about an hour outside the city. String lights, exposed wooden beams, rolling hills in the background. The works. It was everything we dreamed of. We booked it immediately, paid a $3,000 non-refundable deposit, signed a contract, put down the date, June 15th p.m. ceremony. This was a full year in advance. We were so organized, so prepared. What could possibly go wrong? Uncle Dave is my dad's younger brother, and he's always been questionable. The kind of guy who forgets his wallet at family dinners, who's had 17 different business ventures that all failed, who once tried to sell my grandma's jewelry at a pawn shop and claimed he was getting it appraised. You get the picture. But he's family, so he was obviously invited to the wedding. We sent out invitations 4 months in advance, and Dave arvs that yes, he and his wife Janet will be there. 3 weeks before the wedding, Dave calls me. This is already weird because Dave never calls me. We're not close. He starts with small talk, asking how wedding planning is going, acting all interested and uncle-like. I'm suspicious but trying to be polite. Then he goes, hey, so this venue you guys booked sounds absolutely amazing. Janet and I have our 20th anniversary coming up next year, and I was thinking of throwing her a little party. Nothing crazy, just like 30 to 40 people. Could you give me your venue coordinator's contact info? I'd love to check it out for maybe next spring. Now, several things should have tipped me off. Dave has never, in 20 years of marriage, planned anything romantic for Janet. Their anniversary is in November, not spring. Dave doesn't have 30 to 40 friends. Why would he need my coordinator's info instead of just Googling the venue? But I was busy with final wedding preparations, stressed about seating charts and cake tastings, and I just wanted to get him off the phone. So I sent him the coordinator's email and phone number. Biggest mistake of my life. I should mention that the week leading up to the wedding, I was completely swamped. My maid of honor flew in early. We had dress fittings, rehearsal dinner planning, out-of-town guests arriving. I was barely checking my emails. The venue coordinator, Lisa, had emailed me a few times with subject lines like exciting ceremony updates and confirmed timeline changes, but I just assumed these were her standard check-in emails and made a mental note to read them later. I know, I'm an idiot. June 15th arrives, beautiful sunny day, not a cloud in the sky. I'm feeling amazing. This is my day. My bridesmaids and I arrive at the venue at 2 p.m., ceremony at 5 p.m., to start hair and makeup in the bridal suite. We pull up, and immediately I notice there are a lot of cars in the parking lot, like, way more than there should be at 2 p.m. The ceremony isn't for 3 hours. I figure maybe there's another event finishing up or something. We walk into the main entrance and I freeze. There are decorations everywhere, but they're not my decorations. The flowers are wrong. We ordered white roses and peonies, but these are red roses and carnations. The chair sashes are burgundy instead of blush pink. There's a banner that says 20 years of love, Dave and Janet. I'm standing there, brain completely malfunctioning, trying to process what I'm seeing. Then I hear music, Pachelbel's Canon and D coming from the ceremony space. I walk toward the main barn area, my bridesmaids following me in confused silence, and I peek through the doors. There are 80 people seated in the chairs, my chairs, and at the altar, in a full black tuxedo, is Uncle Dave. Next to him, in a white cocktail dress, is Janet. There's an officiant. They are actively in the middle of renewing their vows. I legitimately thought I was having a stroke. I sprint to find Lisa, the venue coordinator. She's in her office doing paperwork, calm as can be. I burst in, probably looking absolutely deranged, and I'm like, WHAT is happening. Why is there another wedding happening right now? Lisa looks at me, confused, and goes, what do you mean? This is the combined ceremony. Dave confirmed everything 2 weeks ago. Combined ceremony. What are you talking about? That's when Lisa pulls out her emails. Turns out, 2.5 weeks before my wedding, someone using my fiance's email address contacted the venue. The email said that my fiance's uncle wanted to renew his vows, and we thought it would be beautiful and economical to combine our wedding with their vow renewal. Real family bonding moment. The email asked to move our ceremony time to 7 p.m. and let Dave's renewal happen at 5 p.m. with us sharing decorations and the space. Lisa thought it was unconventional but sweet. She sent several confirmation emails to that address, which I now realize was a fake email address Dave created that was one letter different from my fiance's real email. My fiance responded confirming everything. I'm literally shaking at this point. I show Lisa my fiance's real email address. I show her our original contract. I'm trying not to cry because my makeup is already done. Lisa goes white. She realizes she's been scammed. But here's the thing. Dave's ceremony is happening right now. There are 80 people out there. The ceremony is half over, and our original 5 p.m. slot is gone. My fiance arrives with his groomsmen around 3 p.m. to find me having a complete meltdown in the parking lot. I explain everything. He goes from confused to absolutely enraged in about 10 seconds. He storms into the venue. I follow him. We walk right into the ceremony space. Dave is in the middle of his vows and my fiance just shouts, Dave, WHAD the hell did you do? The entire ceremony stops. Everyone turns around. Dave sees us standing there. Me in my wedding dress, bridesmaids in their gowns, my fiance in his suit, and instead of looking guilty or apologetic, this man smiles. He actually leaves Janet at the altar, walks over to us with his arms spread wide, and says, surprise, isn't this incredible? I wanted to make our anniversary special, and when I heard about your beautiful venue, I thought, why not make it a family celebration? You should be honored that we get to share this moment together. It's so much more meaningful this way. My fiance, you stole our wedding venue. Dave, stole? That's harsh. I borrowed it. Come on, there's room for everyone. Your ceremony can go right after ours. We'll be done by 7:30 at the latest. Me, Dave. We had a contract for 5 p.m. Dave, well, you can be flexible, can't you? It's all about family. Janet and I have been married 20 years. 20 years. That's an accomplishment worth celebrating. At this point, several of Dave's guests are looking uncomfortable. Janet looks like she wants to disappear into the floor. Lisa is frantically on the phone, I assume with her manager or possibly the police. My dad, Dave's brother, was one of Dave's guests because Dave told him it was just a small anniversary lunch. My dad stands up and goes, Dave, you need to leave, now. Dave, it's my ceremony. I paid for it. Turns out, Dave paid Lisa $500 cash to add his ceremony to our package, telling her we were splitting costs. Lisa, thinking this was all coordinated with us, accepted it. Long story short, Lisa called her manager, who called the venue owner, who came down immediately. The owner was horrified. They stopped Dave's ceremony, asked all his guests to leave, and tried to reset everything for our 5 p.m. slot. But it was impossible. Dave had brought in all his own decorations, which were now mixed with ours. His 80 guests had eaten half the cocktail hour appetizers that were meant for our reception. The timeline was completely destroyed, and emotionally, I was done. I couldn't get married there after this disaster. My fiancé and I, along with our immediate families and wedding party left. We went to a nice restaurant, had dinner, and the next day we got married at the courthouse with just our parents and siblings there. It was actually really beautiful and intimate, but it wasn't what we'd planned. We're currently suing Dave in small claims court for the $8,500 we spent on the venue, deposit plus final payment. Dave is telling everyone in the family that we're being petty and unforgiving and that we ruined his special day by making a scene. Half the family thinks he's insane. The other half thinks we should just forgive him because that's what family does. 3 months later, we won in small claims court. The judge literally said, this is one of the most clear-cut cases of fraud I've ever seen. Dave has to pay us back the full $8,500 plus our lawyer fees of $1,200 plus court costs. Dave showed up to court and tried to argue that he was doing us a favor by making our wedding more special. The judge was not having it. At one point the judge said, sir, you committed fraud. You impersonated the groom. You stole their venue reservation. And you seem to have no remorse. You're lucky they're only suing you civilly. Dave's appeal was denied. He now has to pay us in monthly installments because he doesn't have the full amount. Shocking, I know. Janet, his wife, actually apologized to us privately. She said she had no idea what Dave had done until the week before, and by then all their family had been invited, and she felt trapped. She's apparently considering divorce, which honestly, good for her. We're planning to renew our vows next year on our anniversary at a different venue, and Dave is absolutely not invited to anything ever again. And that is the story of how my uncle stole my wedding venue.